Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, Nate Almighty, and I'm back with another Raising Kanan Season 4 Theory and Prediction video. The topic of today's theory and prediction video is this. Jukebox finds out where Wiley and Pickett's secret torture room is. And she rescues Krystal and saves her life. Now, I want you guys to focus on what you should be watching right now, which is this loop of somebody walking in to save Krystal. Now, I'm going to go into detail about who I think this person is, of course, and I'm also going to go into detail as how Jukebox will be able to rescue Krystal and the help that she has along the way, okay? This video is, of course, going to be another banger because I know you guys need a banger, and I'm going to give it to you. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Without further ado, let's get to it. All right, now, people, let's break it down like this. If you haven't already seen this loop that I have, you should be watching it right now or about to watch it, right? This is Krystal, obviously, being held captive in some place, right? Now, first off, I want to make the assumption, I want to call out the fact that this place that she's being held at is likely the place in the Bronx where Wiley and Pickett had Famous before they dumped him off and left him to die. Or rather, this is where they held Famous and tortured him before he died, and then they dumped him off. As we can all remember, Famous was found all the way in the Bronx, okay? So let's keep that thought there. This place that Krystal was in, Bronx. The torture place, right? By Wiley and Pickett. Now, when you're looking at the loop, or when you've seen the loop, right? It's blurry. Blurry on purpose, okay? But here's the thing. As the person seems to be walking closer to Krystal, okay? We have to understand that, one, this person is bow-legged. Two, this person's kind of thick. And I'm going to say pause ahead of time in case it's not a woman, but I'm believing it to be Jukebox. And then when you look, right, at the top of the person's head, right, it seems to be that there's no police hat or anything of the sort. And if you squint and if you try really hard, it just may be, right, two Pocahontas braids at the top of this woman's head. Not only that, this appears to be a black person and a chocolate person. So my question to you all, if this is somebody rescuing Krystal, it has to be Jukebox. Who else could it be? Also, Wiley and Pickett, they're men. They're slim officers, right? They don't have any curves. They're dudes, right? They're boys. They're men, okay? They're also taller than Jukebox. This doesn't look like either of those people. It's definitely not the white cop. And it doesn't look like the black cop either. So the question is, once again, who is that person? I'm telling you right now, it's Jukebox. Jukebox saves Krystal. But here's the thing, right? You would now want to ask yourself, how does that work? How does Jukebox get the chance to rescue Krystal and all the way in the Bronx, right? How does she successfully do that, being that the two cops might be there? Because there's not a guarantee that those two cops are going to be there. But we're going to speak on the fact of them two possibly being there, right? So here's the thing, right? Two cops, Wiley and Pickett, they possibly in the torture house. You got Jukebox. But if you've already watched my video on me saying Jukebox and Lou kill Wiley and Pickett together, here lies the opportunity for Jukebox and Lou to kill Wiley together. I want to ask you guys something. If someone needs to be rescued and your options are Rock, Kanan, Lou, Jukebox. And you have to pick 2 people in order to handle that situation. And the other 2 people go handle Snaps and Pop. Who would you suggest be the best 2 options to go handle the situation, right? Based off of who they are and what you know they're capable of. That would be Jukebox and Lou Thomas. Why? Because we know that those 2 people are the 2 people who pretty much do not make mistakes, right? Have we seen Lou even make a mistake while he was sober? Besides when he let Warrell live on purpose because he didn't have it in him for the game anymore? What mistakes have we seen Jukebox make? Not only that, we know for a fact that Lou and Jukebox are the best shooters in the Thomas family, okay? So what I'm saying is that somehow, some way, the information is going to get to Rock or Kanan, or Rock and Kanan at the same time, okay? Whether they got Snaps and Pop held hostage or something and got guns to their face. And my thing is that if they're held hostage, what could you really say to make them cooperate with you? That's something that we'll need to find out if they end up being a hostage. But somehow, some way, they're gonna figure out where Krystal is, okay? They already got to kill Famous. I do not believe they're gonna get to kill Krystal as well. Especially if we talking about heading into the grand finale of season 4 of Raising Kanan. And we're gonna need to go out with a bang. We're gonna need to see a lot of action. So like I said, somehow, some way, the information will get to Rock and Kanan that Krystal, right? Krystal is held up in the Bronx and Wiley and Pickett's torture house. Okay? So, Jukebox is going to say to Kanan, let me go get her. You and your mother, y'all got to patch things up. Y'all got to take care of Bonnie and Clyde. Me and Lou, we're going to go. Right? Lou's, of course, going to volunteer himself. Lou don't know what Jukebox been up to. He's going to say, hey, you sure you up for this? She's going to say, it's a lot of things you don't know about me, Uncle Lou. He's going to say, I bet. They're going to go. And now when we talking about 2 cops versus Lou and Jukebox, this is more of a fair fight than you may want to think, especially if they get the drop, right? And they're able to catch Wiley and Pickett off guard. So now we have a situation to where maybe one of Wiley or Pickett get caught slipping outside of the apartment, right? He gets taken out. Now Lou and Jukebox, they bust into the torture house, right? We have to assume that there's definitely not going to be no street dudes in there because they're cops. They're not that affiliated with street dudes. They're not going to be able to pay no street dudes to be holding down the apartment for them. And we also got to understand that there's probably not going to be any extra cops there because Wiley and Pickett, they have their own personal situation going on with Snaps and Pop. And they're not going to want all these extra cops in their business. So chances are there's only going to be 2 cops, and that's Wiley and Pickett there. So once one of them gets taken out, now they busting. Now it's a gunfight or whatever, right? Both Wiley and Pickett get shot down. Now you got Jukebox who kicks the door open, pushes the door open. You got Krystal. She looking up. She like, oh, who is that? Are they finally here to kill me? What's going on? And then you have Jukebox. Jukebox comes and she rescues Krystal. Technically, you got Jukebox and Lou rescuing Krystal from the torture house. This will happen. This will happen in some kind of way. Now, there is a reality where Wiley and Pickett get dealt with, right? Krystal gets rescued, and we still don't deal with Snaps and Pop until the end of episode 10. All of these things are very, very, very possible. But either way, I want to ask y'all a question. After all Jukebox and Krystal been through, what would be great for both their character arcs is if the last person who Krystal would expect to rescue her comes and rescues her. And that person being Laverne Jukebox Thomas. Make sure you come subscribe. Peace.
Can't teach that shit, nigga. Come on. That's God gifted. That's touched by an ink. That's on the dome, nigga.